One more sleep to go, and finally, the doors will open at the City Ground. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds as we talk about Forest versus Burnley. Evening, panel. Evening, everyone in the chat. Hope you're well. I'm excited. I don't know how well I'm going to sleep tonight, but boys, we're here. The game is upon us. The City Ground is back open, and it's Forest versus Burnley. Chat, start getting your thoughts, and we'll get to all that in just a second. Coming up tonight, we will go through, will Sangare play or not? There's a massive debate raging on about it. I want to get your thoughts as well as the panelists' thoughts on it as well. We'll look at the team selection. We'll look at predicted scores, and we have a ticket to give away for free to all you beautiful members for the game tomorrow. So if you can make it, all I need you to do is write a quick message in the Q&A. Just say hi, or just say who your favorite Forest player is, or tell me who you like the least out of and Dino. That will probably get you more likely to win it if you get the right answer there. So in that Q&A,
whose outfit you like out of both of us?
Yeah, what's going on with wardrobe there? For those listening on the podcast, either one of you is wearing the Argentina top and the other's wearing the Forest away kit, or you've both come on with the Forest away kit.
Didn't you get the memo? It was Argentina night tonight. Didn't you get it?
Well, I don't really want to reveal what I'm wearing because it's a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, go on, show the chat.
No.
You gave me a chuckle.
As you can see, this is a pristinely new T-shirt that I've had for over a year now, worn once since I ditched this idiot who was absolute crap. But yeah, Lingardinho, I thought I'd never see that stupid celebration again. How you boys doing now? How you boys doing?
Very good. Very looking forward to tomorrow. Really am.
Yeah?
Yeah. Can't wait. Get the atmosphere again at the ground.
I can't wait.
I can't believe we're 17th of September and it's only our second home game. And we've not played a Premier League. We won't have played a Premier League club yet. We had Championship club in Sheffield. We've got a Championship club in Burnley tomorrow. When are we going to play a Premier League club?
Oh, you mean at the City Ground? I thought you were taking the piss out of your beloved Arsenal there for a second, aren't?
No, at the City Ground, obviously.
At the City Ground, yeah. All right, what was I going to say? Okay, so get your comments into the Q&A if you would like that ticket. Massive shout out to Sai and Nottingham Now and Then who have hooked you guys up with it. It is, and I've got to get into a couple of these comments before we kick off because I got to agree with Martin. It feels, boys, like the longest international break in the history of international breaks. And Dino, hot off the press, in 4 games' time, we got another one.
I know. It's crazy. I hate the international break. It's like you're hunting around for things to watch, isn't it? Other than the international matches.
Mate, I've even seen Martin messaged on WhatsApp earlier and he's watching the rugby. Now, I don't know if he likes rugby or not. I'm not a rugby guy myself, but I haven't stooped to that level yet. But it is what it is. All right, guys, we got over 230 of you in here already. Please hit that like button. Please get your messages in if you can make it tomorrow. Obviously, you need to be available for the game and can get to Nottingham. Got 1 ticket for you. Boys, let's just jump straight into this. There's so much talk and debate about whether or not Sangare will play. We'll get into all the other players in a second, but I want to start with the main event mafia, so to speak, Sangare. And do you feel he will start tomorrow? And not just what you feel, but do you think Cooper will put him in as well?
Yeah, well, obviously, I'd start him, so get that out of the way now.
Yeah.
I initially thought he's bound to play him. Why would you not play one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe? But I don't know, as the days go by, I'm starting to get a little bit more worried that I can't see why he wouldn't start him, honestly. I can't see why he wouldn't start him. But it's Cooper. So for some reason, you may think keep him on the bench, bring him on if we need him or whatever. I think he'll start him. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's, Dino, the talk is, the reason people are thinking no is because he's only just recently come back from his international break. Maybe had 1, say 2 tops training sessions with Cooper and the rest of the lads. Is he good enough to chuck in, or do you think Cooper may still look at it? Because remember, we did beat Chelsea. Is there a chance that we could just go with the same team that beat Chelsea, subject to Elanga's injury, etc.?
Yeah, of course, there's a chance. This is Cooper we're talking about, and he is quite conservative, isn't he? You know, he does like to bring players in slowly. Other than Ward, who he played straight away, I don't really understand that one, but it's something behind that, which I'm not going to go through. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him, but my gut feeling is somebody just said it in the chat that he'll probably come off the bench. But I mean, I'm taking him in tomorrow, so he's desperate to see him as well. So it'd be great if we can see him. But
Yeah,
change to win inside, that's also a thing, isn't it? You know, they did so well.
It's an interesting question.
I understand.
Go on. No, go.
I'd say I understand that sentiment, but there's a hell of a difference between playing Chelsea away and playing Burnley at home. So just because you've managed to get a fantastic result against a team of Chelsea's supposed class, although it's not there, is it? Just because you managed to do that away from home, that doesn't necessarily mean that's how I should attack. I use the word a team at home. So I'm not saying I don't go along with that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that's from me. I'm just thinking in Cooper's mind what he will probably do. I think he's a man that rewards players, doesn't he, for doing well. But I mean, I expect to see a completely different game tomorrow than the one against Chelsea. I'd like to think we wouldn't defend like, you know, for our lives against Burnley, but you never know. I think that's more interesting for me than whether Sangare plays or not, what the mentality is tomorrow, because we're not languishing at the bottom. We've got an opportunity to go 7th, is it, if we get a win?
8th on goal. We'll be joint 7th, but we'll be 8th on goal.
With everybody on straight games. I mean, what an opportunity for the manager.
My question would be, my question would be, if you're not playing Sangare, who would you play in that position? That was my question.
Well, I think the argument here is: do you stick with a winning team or do you upgrade your team? And you know, I put the poll up in the chat. Do you think he will start? Will he not start, or will he be benched? Get your votes in on that. Just before we continue with this debate, just a quick shout out to a couple of member 13 months, Marky Boy, second longest relationship I've ever had. Is this? Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you. You're absolute legend.
What's the first, Mark? What's the first? What we got to beat?
I was thinking that. Well, at Forest, I hope. And then, of course, to Sherlock Martin Holmes as well with the 10 months, Martin, the legend that he is. But yeah, don't watch rugby. It's crap. But yeah, it's. Do you stick with the winning team? Because if I remember the Chelsea game, was it Mangala and Yates? It feels so long ago as the starting two. Well, it was Danilo as well, wasn't it? But he got injured, and then we ended up bringing on Elanga just before half time, I think it was. But would you see the reasoning behind it if Sangare doesn't play, or is it just a no-goer for you, Dino?
I just think it'll be down to whether he thinks he's fit or not. I mean, they measure bloody everything, don't they, at Forest? So they'll be measuring fitness. They've been very cautious before bringing players back. Felipe, man. You know, Felipe coming back from injury, you know, people that we've had coming back from injury sitting on the bench and just bleeding them in really, really slowly. I get it, because we had a lot of injuries last year. We were like second or third in the table, weren't we, for injuries? So I do get it. But the thing is, you know, he is our crown jewel, isn't he now? And we all want to see him. And, no Premier League games are easy unless it's like what I saw today with Arsenal versus Everton that looked like 3 leagues apart in class.
Yeah.
But there's, these teams can give you a lot of trouble. Sheffield United give Man City trouble. They give Tottenham trouble, and no doubt Burnley will give some teams trouble as well. Hi, Crypto.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Hey, good to see you, bud. Yeah, I look, I want the shiny new toy thing. That's really what I want to see. I'm not saying chuck a whole new 11 of the shiny new toys, but when you get, like Christmas or birthdays or whatever, what's the thing you open first? It's the biggest toy, isn't it? The one you've been waiting for. Yeah, you don't care about
why we can't play him, and if he's looking tired, bring him off. That's what we does with Mangala and Wonyi. I don't see why it should be the other way around.
Can I just jump in here?
Yeah.
First of all, why are you bringing fitness into this? The guy's played for PSV this year. The guy's been on international duty.
Yeah.
And now he's back. I think there's no issues whatsoever regarding his fitness.
You don't know that, because you don't know. we pick up mysterious injuries in training, my friend.
No,
so you never know.
If somebody's kicked him in the ankle, then or if the
Somebody
medical
might have broken
staff
his leg and nobody said anything.
If the medical staff have been looking after him or something, then obviously injuries can occur, But that aside, let's assume he's perfectly fit. And I've seen people in the chat saying, and I've seen this, it's like a bit of a cliche. Oh, bring him on for the last 20 minutes, bring him on for the last half an hour. Why? At what stage of the game? I mean, you're saying that. So if we're 3-0 up, do you bring him on? If we're 3-0 down, do you bring him on? If it's 0-0, what? You can't just say bring him on with 20 minutes to go or 30 minutes to go, because it depends on the state of the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll only bring players on for injuries or tactical reasons. And a tactical reason, like if Alanga sat on the bench, you put him on for the last 15, 20 minutes because he's got pace and he's fresh. That's the only reason. Sangare's got no excuse to come off the bench if he can even do one half. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Like a goalkeeper, it's like, a goalkeeper sits on the bench. That's his job if he's a second goalkeeper. But my point being is that put him on from the beginning. I can't see any reason not to put him on from the beginning, because at the end of the day, I'd rather have a player, if he's not playing well or he's not fitting in with the team or he's carrying an injury, I'd always rather start him so you can bring him off rather than not start him. You bring him on, and then if he's shit, not that he's going to be, but you know what I mean? What you going to do? Bring him back off again.
Yeah. So I like Pat. I think your attitude's the same as mine, like Pat's, Cloughie way, play your best team.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was with Peter Shilton. I can't remember who the backup goalkeeper was, but he was played really well. And Cloughie quite clearly said, as soon as Shilton's back, he's in the team, he's the number one. No discussion. Don't matter how brilliant you play, mate. When Shilton's back, he's back in.
What's your take on it, Crypto? Would you start him personally? And do you understand if he doesn't start?
Sorry, I missed the first bit. Are we talking about Sangare?
Yeah, Sangare, yeah.
I mean, I'd hope that Cooper starts him. When I was watching your video,
just get a little closer to the mic. Go on.
Yeah, a bit closer to the treadmill.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. Get a bit closer to the treadmill. I'll get there one day. I'm a few meters away at the moment, edging closer day by day.
Sounds like you're still using it.
I'd like to see Sangare start, of course. He's our kind of marquee signing. It's just I watched Cooper's pre-game interview, and he made a reference to something about, we haven't seen him that much yet. He looks okay in training. That to me says that Cooper doesn't think he's ready to put him in the team. Personally, I'd put him straight in because everybody knows how good he is. And I think he'll benefit the formation we play in, etc., and the tactics that Cooper puts forward. But I don't know if Cooper has that mentality to switch things up so dramatically, so quickly. I was watching your video earlier, Wolverine, where you suggested that maybe there's two up front, and I really can't see that. I can't see him going from, I know you still had five at the back, but it's such a dramatic change for him to go from really defensive to all of a sudden attacking. And let's be honest, look, against Burnley, it's exactly what we should do. If there's any game in the season to do it, it's now. But as Tim said, I don't think it's the Cooper way. I think he'll take his time a bit before that happens.
Well, let me read the quote that Cooper said on Sangare. Just let's get it verbatim. A massive shout out to FPL Joe for subscribing. And guys, there's 350 of you in here, 78 likes. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you're new. Let's just read this quote out from Cooper. He said, and I quote, "We look forward to working with him. He has undoubted talent and is the profile midfield player we wanted to bring in. It's been quite a long process in getting him here." And he's also thanked Forest Fan TV for their assistance and Acid Burnout. No, he didn't really. Getting him here. But we're delighted he's chosen us, and he could have chosen so many other clubs, and we're really looking forward to working with him. So I get what you're saying. There is a little kind of subliminal message there, Crypto, isn't there? That is he the one?
It sounds like maybe. I think. Look, he knows he's a brilliant player. He knows he's going to be on the team as a regular, I would hope. But Cooper's always cautious with how quickly players go in. I mean, if you look at Elanga, for example, personally, I think Elanga should start, but Cooper obviously doesn't. Even though Elanga's showing us that quality and showing us that he can team up with Awani really well down the left-hand side, it's still not enough yet to get him as a starter. So, look, I think it's up to Cooper, but if it was me, I'd definitely start him. I think it would freshen up the team. I think it would prove to the fans who have been critical of him being too defensive that he's ready to change it now and ready to go on the attack, especially against teams such as Burnley.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love the chat. Martin saying to you, where's the motivation to get on that treadmill when the sofa and the TV are next to it?
That's the problem, Martin. That's the problem.
Okay, let's get this poll up. This poll results: 61% of you think he will start. 28% now say he'll be benched, and 12% say no. Maybe that means they won't be in the squad.
Do we think that it might be in Steve Cooper's mind that Mr. Marinakis has paid 30-odd million out for this guy, and it was a bit cheeky not to play him?
but that's an interesting point, isn't it? Because would that say that Marinakis has some involvement in the player choice?
No, but it might be subconsciously on Steve Cooper's mind, thinking he's paid 30-odd million for this guy, and he is a quality player. There's no reason not to play him. Who are you going to, like I say, who are you going to play in his place?
And one quick point on that. He did risk Johnson, though, when he knew that Johnson had to be sold, and he still risked him. Johnson could have got injured in that game, and everything would have gone differently.
That's a great point. Because
that doesn't mean to say that if Johnson had got injured, Mr. Marinakis wouldn't have had his balls in a bag, does it?
Oh, he would have. Oh, he absolutely. Could you imagine that? My God. Vinny Kompany.
On your balls be it.
Yeah, Alien Ant Farm himself, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Just a quick reminder.
Subscribe after Monday, whatever you do. Stay subscribed.
Just a quick reminder, if you're joining late, we've got a free ticket to give away to our members. So if you can make it to the City Ground tomorrow, just get in the Q&A bit, get a message in there. If you're a member, another member's perk coming your way, no strings attached. Just say hi and we'll Wheel of Doom it towards the end of the stream. If you want to be in with a chance, membership's only 99p. You get all the goals as they come in. Obviously, tomorrow's game when we Forest thrash Burnley, you'll see them all live on the watch along and all the other member perks as well. And we are updating the emojis hopefully tomorrow for you guys. Go on, Dino.
Plus now we've got this weekly show, the Soccer Saturday Super Sunday style show. You get all the goals. Well, as many as we can keep up with anyway.
Absolutely. And shout out to Lemmy going through the old sheepskin jacket on Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed it, those of you who were there along with us. Okay, so I want to move this on to this. And literally, Ben, you're reading my mind. It's the next thing coming up here. Which goalkeeper is going to be starting? It said in The Athletic, the new guy will be our number one. He's talking about Vlachodimos there. Just before I open it up to you guys on the panel and chat, I want your thoughts on it. No doubt we'll do another poll in a second. Let me give you Cooper's quote on the keepers as well. So he said, we've got competition we want in every area, really. It's always a specific question where goalkeepers are concerned, but you can look at players in every position and see how there is some competition, how there is the same competition. Hopefully the guy who plays is in a place where he knows he has to play well. That's what you want. I mean, it's not the greatest of quotes, to be honest, but that's what he said. Just before I open up to the panel, Declan, thank you so much for becoming a member. Get your name in there if you can make it to the City Ground tomorrow, and good luck to you and everyone else. Dina, I want to start with you on this one. How do you see the keeper situation? Any subtle hints in there that there may be a change, or do you think it'll still be Turner between the sticks? And chat, I'm going to open a poll up on it.
If he's not going to start, if he's not thinking of starting Sangare, then he in the same way he has to start Turner. He's done nothing wrong. He's been great for us so far this season. We've got some surprising results. We're doing better than we all expected. And I'd be devastated if Turner lost his place. Now, if he starts going into bad form, And Vlachodimos is actually first time I said that's the first time I've not said Shakadimos and Pliers. If he starts showing that he's better in training and Turner's looking a bit ropey, then we've got another one to swap out. We've seen it today with Raya, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he out of the blue, that was completely out of the blue, and he's basically said, the manager said, look, whoever plays best, whoever's impressing me in training. So
yeah,
I don't know about Vlachodimos. I see him as a bit of a putty hands, a bit like Navas, good shot stopper, but can't hold on to anything.
Yeah, and the point Dino makes there about what happened with Arsenal, we saw it today, didn't we? With Ramsdale and what's his face? I forgot his name. Raya. Today. And it's not many teams you see where there's two number ones, for want of a better phrase. And is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to the guys in the chat reminding me it's Chris Woods. Of course it was. He played in the League Cup final. It's very funny how it's caused an absolute meltdown on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere else that Arsenal have got two quality goalkeepers at the same time. Oh my God, you can't do that. You've got to have a good one and a shit one. Otherwise they won't be happy. That's football. If you're a right back and you're not as good as the other right back, you probably won't get in the team. It's your job to make sure you're the better one. So I don't have a problem with having two good goalkeepers. Hopefully they're both good goalkeepers. And so far, I've seen nothing from Turner to suggest that he deserves dropping. And I don't think there's a cat's chance in hell that Cooper will drop Turner. I think there's no chance he will drop Turner.
Really?
It'll go against Cooper's character, won't it?
Yeah. The guy, as we've all said, Turner's done nothing wrong. And Vlachodimos, he hasn't come in as the clear number one. I mean, he costs less than Turner for a start. So he's not coming as the clear number one. He's come in as competition. And at the moment, the competition is that Turner's doing better because he's played and he hasn't made any mistakes. So
I think you're having double standards there, mate. How can you say drop, let's just say Mangala tomorrow for Sangare? Yeah, Mangala's been fine on the pitch. How can you then not hold the same standards?
I did make the point that he wasn't brought in as the number one. He was brought in as competition. Sangare has been, trust me, and I'm sure you agree, has been brought in as the number one in his position.
But I think Vlachodimos has been brought in as the number one.
Well, you and I disagree. I think.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I don't think he has. Yeah, I think it's a fair fight.
Talking of which, why did we not pay 15 million for Endo, or do we not want to go back to that? Every time I see that, it makes me feel sick.
Yeah, well, he's done, and I wish him all the best, but I don't really care anymore on him. He's not a Forest player.
No, that's fair enough. Same as Johnson.
My point is, this is why I think Vlachodimos is the number one choice, because Turner was brought in as the number two to go behind Henderson. Yeah. And then the recruitment was still saying that they were going to buy two goalkeepers in. And that's why I see it as Turner was still brought in as the number two. Vlachodimos brought in ahead of him. Yeah. And if that's the case, then there could be an argument to put him into the team, maybe even straight away.
Yeah, but Henderson was value it's 15 million with 5 million add-ons. That's 20 million. Vlachodimos wasn't brought in for 20 million. He was brought in for less than Turner.
So what? Doesn't mean your price dictates if you're the top choice.
Psychologically, that makes a difference. Anyway, look, we can disagree all we like. We don't actually know, do we? We're just making assumptions here. My belief is that Turner was brought in possibly as a number two, although not certain about that because maybe the Endo deal was going down the panel anyway. So possibly as a number two, but Endo didn't come, so he's brought in another goalkeeper to compete with him, and it will work itself out in time. But I don't think he'll drop Turner unless he has a reason to drop him. That's just my view of it.
And he's Greek, and we do have some Greek connections. Great point there by Martin as well. The chat at the moment, you guys are saying 76% have gone for Turner, 16% for Vlachodimos. And I put it there just to see how many trollers we have in the chat. And 9% of you have gone for Hennessy. So
1 in 10 of our viewers is a troller.
1 in 10 is a troller.
That's quite a low number for most channels.
I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping for, Well, Hennessy's a Welsh international, let's not forget. So you little trollers, you really are.
Let's just put one thing right on this. Nobody come back in like 3 weeks if he's had 3 weeks of howlers and say, "Oh, Dino, you said Turner." I think we've said as long as he's playing well, he should stay in the team. If he's not playing well, there's another backup. It's the same with any player on the pitch.
Can I just say something that's totally on a tangent, but I thought was quite funny. My brother's on a ship at the moment in the Mediterranean on a cruise. He's put, cannot get the stream to load on YouTube on the ship. Can see the chat, however, but gone on Twitter and boom, it's working, but no chat.
have two windows open there, Nave. Have two windows open there, Nave. All right, let's close that poll. A quick reminder. Look, I don't care if only one person puts their name in for the ticket, you will get the ticket. At the moment, I think there's about 7 at first glance. So if you can make it to the match, to the City Ground tomorrow.
People moaning about can't get a ticket.
Yeah, free ticket, no strings attached. Get your asses in there.
Yeah, we'll move down to the ground as well if you want. Come say hi. Yeah.
And I think Harvey said he's down there. Make sure you meet the FFTV boys. I think you 3 going? Crypto, you going tomorrow? I can't remember.
No, not tomorrow. I'm in between moving house, so my spare time's made packing IKEA boxes and doing.
You're leaving the treadmill there for the next people.
I'm not carrying it. I wouldn't run on it, let alone try and pick
excuse. I'm gonna say just forget it.
I think you 2 are going, Sai's going, Ez is going.
I've arranged to meet Nottingham now and then at the fan zone at 6:45. So if anyone wants to come down for a little chat and a kiss and a cuddle, you're welcome.
Very nice. Martin will be down there. Jordan asking, how do I do it? All you do is click on the Q&A bit in the chat. Just say hi or just, say something rude about or Dino. And yeah, just get it in the chat.
We'll all be down the fan zone.
Thomas saying, I'd love to get the ticket. I can get there. Make sure your name's in there. I'm not seeing it in there, Thomas. Put a message in. I'm not gonna flower it up anymore. It's very, very easy to enter. Just go on the Q&A, top of the chat, and just say hi in there, and you'll get it. At the moment, I can see Mark.
Big blue banner that says want a free Forest ticket for tomorrow. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I can see Mark in there. I can see Daniel. I can see Laser. I can see Matty. Splashy, you're not a member. Sorry, bro. So you're in there, but you're not. I can see Ben in there.
You can't bribe, Thomas. You can't drive. You can't bribe.
Alfie, you need to be a member, bro. 007's in there. Jordan, I can officially see you in there as well. So make sure Mark's going to have a cuddle with you tomorrow, and if he wins the ticket.
And you've got a free cuddle tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
There's somebody a little bit hairier than probably you expected.
It'd be a pleasure to meet Mark. He's one of our best.
He is, yeah.
I mean, can we just bring up that profile picture again? That is, like
a film star.
Lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Look at that full crop. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow going on.
Little fat ginger podgy lad. I'll know it's him.
It's like the blue steel look from Zoolander. If anybody gets that reference.
It got what did they used to call it? The duck lip thing going on, or that, they used to do the selfies. Anyway, okay.
Always puts his arse when he cuddles.
Down now.
Hey, Mark, you've got to be prepared, man. Wear some extra underpants because when he cuddles me, he always squeezes both cheeks.
Fucking liar.
We call him more. All right, we're derailing. We're derailing big time here. Yeah. What time will we be at the fan zone? 6:45. Did you say, boys? You're going to be there? Yeah.
I'll be there at 6:40. Charlie will be there at 6:45. Nottingham now and then hopefully be there at 6:45.
Yeah. Alfie saying, how do I become a member?
Hopefully, yes, but with us, you never know.
You never know. Yeah, he'll be there just after kickoff. To become a member, just hit !member in the chat. One word, 99p. That's all it is. You get all the goals, all other member perks, the member stream. And by the way, thank you to all the members who are in the Zorro stream on Friday night. Man, that was such a blast, that stream. And a quick shout out to Paul, who's just become a member. Paul, get your name in for the ticket as well, buddy. Thank you so much for becoming a member. The link, we'll put the link in there. Just look where it says stream elements and click that link through. Or you can hit the $sign, I think, in the chat. There's so many ways to do it. All right. Reason I wanted you on tonight, Crypto. And by the way, Ed sends his apologies, guys.
His apologies.
Yeah, he's getting his haircut again for the 5th time. But yeah, exploring with the youngers. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Get your name in the Q&A as well for your chance to win the ticket.
That's a bad name for being on here. Exploring with the youngers.
Anyway, let's become more professional.
I was professional. I'm just saying we're all old.
We're all old. All right, crypto.
Obviously.
I want to get into this defense now. Now we have a crap load of centre backs. Yeah, let me in fact just quickly shout them out for you guys. We've got Bolly, Felipe, McKenna, Niakate, Murillo, Amabamidele, and Worrell, all as centre backs. Yeah. Who is going to make the cut for tomorrow? And let's start with your love-hate relationship with Worrell, Crypto. What do you think is going to happen with him? He played well against Chelsea, but he's been inconsistent. It's fair to say that, I think. What happens with, let's assume it's a back 3 tomorrow as well.
Look, I think tomorrow, unfortunately, I think Cooper's going to play Worrell for a few reasons. One, he's the captain. So I think he wants that presence there. 2, he had a good game last match. So I think he can use that as an excuse if he needs to be. And 3, I think it's one of his preferred players. Him and Worrell, he always defends Worrell. When he had a good game last time, you could see him pushing him towards the crowd. I think he's got some, he likes Worrell as one of his main players. Personally, I know we've discussed this before. I think to be the best, you've got to be consistent. Worrell had a really good game last match, but it's one out of many. There's been many more games where he's conceded goals, he's cost us points, etc. Now, obviously, he has to be playing on a regular basis to prove himself. But we're kind of, 1 and a bit seasons in now in the Premier League, and he probably had maybe 5 or 6 decent matches. Personally, I would start Felipe, Niakate, and Bolly ahead of Worrell anytime. I'd quite like to see Murillo as well. He looks like a bit of a unit. But yeah, look, I think Cooper is going to start Worrell. I can't see him dropping him. What I would expect though is for him to drop McKenna, because McKenna is McKenna's not that inconsistent, but he's consistently average, I would say. There's nothing special about McKenna. He doesn't make massive mistakes, but he's just I'd say he's more of a championship player. If you're comparing him to the likes of, Niakate and Felipe, for me, I would probably drop McKenna ahead of Worrell. If Worrell's head is in the game, and let's be honest, he does play better when Felipe is next to him. I wouldn't put Worrell in the middle either, because he's just not good enough. I think for Cooper it'll be a tough choice to drop him, and it's kind of rotates back to the point about Turner. If you're going to drop Turner, then do you drop Worrell, etc. You could continue that kind of theory through the whole team. But personally, I would get the kind of solid lads back in there who we know are consistent every game. And Bolly's been doing brilliant. Even through pre-season, Bolly was really good. So for me, he deserves that place on the right alongside Felipe and Niakate. I mean, another thing on Felipe is he 34, 35?
Yeah.
So he's only got a few more seasons in him. So let's play him while he's for us, he's pretty much at the prime of his career for us, obviously. So I'd play Felipe as much as possible.
Well, let's do this together, boys. And Dean, I want to bring you in on this one. Let's see if I share this screen quickly. So for those of you watching on the old podcast Rooney there, I'm just putting this on and I'll make it a little bigger. If we let's agree that Turner goes in. Where are you two? Between the two, well, the 3 of you, if you want, and chat, play along as well. Who are the 3 centre backs that you think will make the cut tomorrow? Argue it out.
I don't want to play 3 centre backs.
Hey, you ain't got a choice, mate.
I'm not playing them.
You're not, I'll go to Dino first.
Taking your ball home.
Taking the ball home.
I've not heard that for years, son. I've not heard that for years. I can't argue with crypto personally. If you're playing a back three, it's got to be that three. But if I'm thinking like Cooper, I don't think he'll drop Worrell because I think he was man of the match against Chelsea. Same as, you wouldn't change the others. But if it was me, I would play the same as Crypto said. I put Bolly in rather than Worrell.
Okay, but what do we think he's going to go in? Chat, do you think yes or no in the chat? Do you think yes or no Worrell starts? Let's get some yes or no's. I think he does. Yeah. Is there anyone on the panel who thinks he doesn't?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was looking at the chat. What was the question?
I know, it's better than this, listening to this drivel.
All right. I'm putting Worrell in. Now, I agree. I would not have Worrell in there. I'd go back 4, but it is what it is. Everyone in the chat seems to be saying yes. Now, I think this is the next issue here is in the middle. I'm going to put him like that, yeah? Bolly or Felipe? Let's argue this one out. Who goes in where? Who goes in where?
I mean, if we're saying Worrell has to start on the right, I'd go Felipe in the middle. Felipe was solid consistently pretty much every game last season. And also although Bolly is very good, Felipe seems like a bit of a leader. So Worrell seems to step up when Felipe is playing well. So for me, I'd have to put Felipe in the middle.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, I'd put your best header of the ball in the middle, Bolly.
Felipe's a better header.
He's a beast. He's a beast. But the middle is where the main striker goes normally. I do take Crypto's point completely, but why are we covering a player? Do you know what I mean? If Worrell could step up like he did against Chelsea, he'll be fine. Felipe wasn't winning at Chelsea.
Chat, put in Felipe or Bolly for that middle spot. I want to see what you guys are thinking.
Bolly was next to him at Chelsea, wasn't he? And Worrell had a absolute outstanding match.
Worrell was in the middle, Dino. Worrell was in the middle.
We shouldn't over-egg this. Worrell was brilliant at Chelsea stuff, because I watched Chelsea today. They're shit. They're forward players.
But it was still really good at Chelsea, man.
Because it's the name Chelsea, we're kind of putting in our minds.
No, okay. In his last match, it was brilliant. He was a standout player for me. And I've criticised him. I've criticised him a lot. But I'll also say when it's good, I'll say it's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But if we're going for a back three, and we're having Worrell at right centre back, obviously Felipe is the classier defender than Bolly. But although Bolly's been superb, he's been absolutely brilliant and he's a rock, and I wouldn't mind him in there at all. And my slight concern with Felipe is he's 34. He's played a lot of football in a very tough team, don't forget, Atletico. And is his body starting to break down? That's my only concern.
Well, this is what's
fit. If he's fully fit and available, I would always pick Felipe because he is magnificent.
Yeah.
Another point is that Bolly is pretty good as like a super sub. So Bolly would be someone I would prefer to bring on.
He's never been called that before.
but when Bolly comes on as a sub, he always does well. We haven't seen it that many times where Felipe comes on as a sub. I'd prefer Felipe as a starter. McKenna, I'd just take him off the screen right now and drop him.
Mate, I don't like that midfield that you've got.
Yeah,
honestly, you're never going to become a manager.
Well, just look. Chat, I can't decide what you said. There's a lot of Felipes and a lot of Bollies, so I've put it as a poll. Let's decide this the good old way. Just before we decide it, we've got, thank you so much for the 199, Alfie. Do you mind explaining how to become a member again? Yeah, I'll get one of the mods will do it. I'm sure if Mark's in the chat, he won't mind. If you do !chat as one word, there's a link there that will take you to the members page, and you just click on there. And just choose a silver membership. It's only 99p. You can choose gold if you want. But anyone who wants to be a member, feel free to. And then get your names in to get the ticket for tomorrow. And I'll email it to you straight after this stream as well. Thank you, Mark. Go on, Nan.
Oh, forget it. No, forget it. I thought I had another way of becoming a member, but I'm wrong.
Okay.
Let's make it clear for the people that are just joining that this isn't the ones that we would choose. This is what we think Cooper's going to go with. Hence Felipe's kind of floating at the minute.
This would be like the ultimate low block. Put a centre back in midfield as well.
All five of them. Yeah. So we'll come back to this Felipe body debate. I want the chat to have the final say on it. Out of McKenna and Niakate, is there any disagreements that'll be Niakate? Is there anyone who on the panel who wants to put a case for McKenna to be the starter?
No, but I do want to put a case, well, not a case, a question to the chat and the panel as well. When do you think that, Murillo and Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to start playing? I mean, are they going to come off the bench and have 20 minutes and try and prove themselves in that? When, I mean, with this Medeli, he's supposed to be a good player, isn't he? So
yeah, I think Cooper bases a lot of it on what he sees in training. I think if people aren't in form in training, then they don't get picked. But as I said earlier, I think he's got his favourites too. The thing is, I feel like when he picks Worrell, he kind of wants to pair him almost in the midfield with Yates. I feel like they're a two-man band. It's like if Worrell starts, then Yates has to start, which is on to another point.
Yeah, it's a fair point. But we are in agreement it'll be Niakate over McKenna, subject to fitness, of course. But Niakate's fit for me. And don't forget,
he should be fit because it was only his elbow. Don't forget. People keep saying, "Oh, he was injured." No, it was his elbow. Nothing to do with his legs or ankles.
He was arm wrestling Bolly, wasn't he?
Well, maybe he needs minutes in the elbow, isn't it? A Dean joke there. For
those throws. To be fair, for those throws.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, long term, it's going to be probably this set of 4, isn't it, for this season? Just to answer Dino's question, I can't see Murillo and Amabamidele getting in unless there's injuries. I think they're more signings for next year for me, to be honest.
No. You don't pay 20 million for a kid and not play him all season.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's still,
And we paid 11.
I think one of them has been brought in to be the Felipe sort of replacement going forward. So I agree with what Ant said the other week, which he said he can't see Felipe playing a lot of football this year.
Personally, I'd start all 3 of them, Niakate, Murillo and Amabamidele ahead of McKenna. I just don't think McKenna's equality.
Yeah. You've moved from Worrell Crypto now onto McKenna.
I know, but I feel like Cooper's just not going to let it go with Worrell. It's just
you're swimming against the tide, aren't you, Crypto?
Yeah, I'm also a bit worried because I wrote a comment on one of the FFF TV videos earlier saying if he plays 2 up front tomorrow, I'll buy a Worrell shirt. And people were offering to buy me a frame. People were offering to come around and put it up on my wall. So, yeah, I'm just a little bit worried. So I've moved on to McKenna instead.
Take your treadmill off you.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, well, let's go with the chat on this. Chat, you have spoken. 65% of you have gone for Felipe as the centre-back. So, Bolly, sorry, man. I think it's harsh on... I personally, if I had to play the back 3, I'd drop Worrell and put Bolly in.
That's 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't see that happening, though, can we?
All right, so we're kind of in agreement. Are we all in semi-agreement?
That might be. Yeah, I think that's what I'll play. Or Bolly for Felipe, one of those two. But yeah.
And I think I speak for all of us when I say against Burnley, we wouldn't play 3 at the back. We'd play 2.
100%.
But yeah, I know, but I've got a different view on that, Crypto.
Done.
We've got so many defenders. I think he's literally pretty much set up for a 5-back all year, 3-back.
Yeah.
The way who we've signed is all pointing towards the fact that we're playing that 3 centre-back formation. Now, whether it's a 5-back like Sheffield on tough days like Man City away, or it's pushed on a bit more progressive to make a 4 in midfield, that's another thing. I think that's what it's trying to do. I don't think with 4 at the back. Oh, come on, we've already got too many players for 3 at the back. We've got way too many players for 4.
Do you think there's anything in the comment that I mentioned the other day where people were saying that Southgate, who's a little bit like Cooper tactically, is defensive because he was a defender. When he was playing the game, he has a defensive mindset. Does he carry that over to his management style?
Yeah, but Cooper was a pipe fitter.
No, he's a ref. He's the son of a referee. Cooper's a son of a referee.
That was his dad. Yeah, that was his dad.
That son of a bitch, son of a referee.
Yeah, you son of a ref.
Okay, so
Peter Taylor, by the way, was a goalkeeper.
Okay, I don't care. Alfie saying, "Have I been entered?"
That's shocking to say that. You talk about our glorious history of our football club.
I'm not listening to what you're saying because I'm moving the subject on. I don't even know who you're talking about right now.
Guys,
you've only been a Forest supporter since we got Premier League, haven't you? So
there you start. Just those in the chat that are wondering whether they're entered for the prize or not. Don't worry, we'll give a sort of 5 to 10 minute warning, and then we'll make sure everybody's in that wants to be in. If you're struggling to get in and you become a member, don't worry, we'll sort it out. But let's get towards the before
Alfie,
we draw it, we'll do that.
That's a question you can answer.
Oh my God, let me talk, Ant. Alfie, I can confirm. Thank you so much for becoming a member. You are in there. I've got you noted down. For those of you joining late, we've got nearly 400 of you in here. Thank you so much for chilling with us. If you want and can make the game tomorrow, we got a free ticket to bring you. Oh, I've annoyed Dan. He's gone.
Go, no, you haven't. Having a crafty flag.
All right. Go. Anyway. I was trying to create drama. If you can make the game tomorrow and you would like a ticket, because let's face it, tickets are really hard to get hold of now. We got one for you, courtesy of Simon and the legend that is Nottingham Now and Then. So please make sure, if you're a member, just chuck a hello in the Q&A section and we'll do a little Wheel of Doom at the end and see who gets it. So at the moment, I've only got about 10 of you, so the odds are really good that you're going to win this ticket. So get your name in there if you can make it. Okay,
don't worry, Thomas. Towards the end, we'll try and put you in manually if you can't manage to do it. Don't worry. We'll do something.
Yeah, that's fine, Thomas.
Don't worry.
Thomas, I'll chuck it in there for you, buddy. Because we're
just
not here
just
to catch anyone else. Thomas, what was Thomas's surname? Forgot. Sorry, Thomas.
Clifton. Thomas Clifton. There you go.
It was funny. It was funny, before I joined this stream, talking about the treadmill, I put on this shirt from 2 seasons ago, and my missus just looked at me and just laughed because it's so tight.
I like that shirt.
A right nip on.
I like that shirt. You got a little Dinipolo going on.
Right, there's a few that can't do it, so let's make sure that we've got plenty of time. There's some that can't do it. So
yeah, for those of you who can't get your name in there,
we'll make sure you're all in before we draw it.
We'll give you a 5-minute warning and we'll put it all in together. Yeah. Okay, so we started talking about kind of Cooper and the defensive selections. Before we move on to talk about midfield, what I really want to get under the crux of, because if people are asking just how to become a member, Man Forest, if the mods could help them out, that'd be fantastic. It's !member, all one word, and that will give you the link. I really want to get into the crux of tomorrow and understanding the tactical side of the game. Forget who's playing and who isn't. Forget what formation, etc. for the minute. But I'll shout out Simon on this because Simon's got me thinking. We all want to see progressive attacking football. At least us on the panel. I'm sure there's differing opinions in the chat and in the fan base. Do we expect or demand to see it tomorrow? Is tomorrow the right time for it? Or is doing it against Burnley, who tried to play like their Man City, actually the wrong tactic to go with? And chat, I'll be interested in your thoughts on this one. Crypt, I'm going to chuck it over to you first. What do you think the mentality approach should be tomorrow? Should be an attacking one, or do you think Cooper will get the result by sticking to type?
I think we'll get a result either way. Again, I would differ from Cooper. Personally, I would play 4-4-2 and go attacking. I think Cooper will play the formation that he usually does and play more cautiously. But I do think it's an opportunity to, if we beat Burnley, he can prove to the fans and he can prove to Marinakis that, look, some of these signings have come in, they've improved the team. We can now play like this and we can go from there. I agree with you when you say that against the big 6 teams, playing a formation where it's defensive, it can work. At least we don't get hammered. Potentially, you can get on the counter, maybe get a draw, maybe get a point, or even win if you get lucky and get through the defense. But against Burnley, really, I mean, some of the teams I've been watching this weekend have been awful. Some of the teams down the bottom, Everton, Luton, Sheffield United, like teams like that, we should just go all out attack. We've got the players to do it, and I hope that Cooper allows them to play how they want. Because I think as well in a few matches recently, there's been some frustration. Morgan Gibbs-White, for example, he looks a bit frustrated to me. It's almost like he's being held back, and he needs to pass the ball more. So he's probably not the best example, but yeah, I'd let them kind of go ahead and play attacking football against Burnley.
Do you see the counter argument to it? And it's a case of Burnley have been unlocked a lot this season by playing too attacking. Do you see what I mean? So do you see the counter argument to it or not?
Well, I said before the season started, if you remember, that people were really big in Burnley up because of the style of football they played in the Championship. And I said at the time, this is the Premier League. If you play that type of football in the Premier League, you're going to get hammered. And they've been hammered. I said after the Sheffield United game, I was disgusted by the way we played that game. So low block, so defensively at home against Sheffield United. I said that I would give him another chance. And if we play the same way against Burnley, then my attitude will be quite aggressive against Steve Cooper's tactics. For my mind, tomorrow, if I don't see an attacking display tomorrow, I'm all guns blazing. Honestly, I can't take it anymore. I've watched a year of shit football. I accepted it because of our precarious position. Now not only have we got superb squad with some fabulous attacking players in it, but also the teams around us are dreadful. Everton, Burnley, Sheffield, Luton. There's no worries.
Man United, Chelsea.
Yeah, Man United, Chelsea, exactly. Yeah. There's no need for us to sit in our shells and be frightened. We can now express ourselves. So let's do it. Let's have some good football. We're playing Burnley. Burnley are an open team. There were plenty of opportunity to attack. Yes, they can score the odd goal, but we've got good defenders. Don't forget. It's not like we're going all out attack and, oh, my God, we're open at the back. No, we've still got good defenders.
Fair
There's
point.
no reason for us tomorrow not to go out and give a good display, play well, score a couple of goals and win the game. And everybody then will be happy. The whole fan base will be united. We'll all be up. The next game will be next game's Man City away, isn't it? Okay, forget that one.
Let's not jump ahead of ourselves here, but
yeah. Against them, we can play defensive, no problem. But this is Burnley at our place, So we must play a more expansive game tomorrow, and part of that will be Sangare, because he is an expansive player. He may be a DM, but he has no problem striding forward, spraying balls, getting tackles in the midfield,
getting goals. Yeah,
goals as well. You're spot on, Dino.
And goals as well. Yeah.
Dino, I think that makes a lot of good points there. Yeah, I just kind of want you to weigh in on it, if you don't mind.
Yeah. 100% agree with the guys, and most of all of the chat. I think that I'd like to see us go for it tomorrow, but I don't think we will, because I don't think we're used to going for it. I don't think we're used to. Certainly not used to having possession football. We've still got the second lowest XG in the league, believe it or not, even though we've got points in the bag and are in a fairly healthy position currently. So we're just not used to it. And we've already discussed that Cooper is like, he has a certain way, doesn't he? He has a certain way of playing, and he's very cautious. Yeah. He's cautious with his subs. He's cautious with his play. We let teams dominate possession, however low they are in the division when we play them. And I think probably, again, I saw somebody in the chat earlier said they'll have more possession than us. I think they will, but I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that as long as we counter them really well.
Cluffy would disagree with you on that.
I agree 100% with James here, which is why I saved that comment, is do what they did against United. United had a lot of the play there and just kept hitting them on the break.
Yeah, but I'm sick of that, Dino. I'm sick of that, Dino. We've got the players now.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I know you are.
But start off by saying 100% agree with you, but I'm talking about what I think Cooper will do.
Yeah.
Because it's all right us all sitting here going, yeah, we're going to go like mad and we're going to like steam them down the wings and we're going to get 35 shots on goal. We're not because we're not used to playing that way at the minute.
The thing is, though, even if he plays low block football, he doesn't want to start people like Elanga who can break on the counter. Even the people at the front of the pitch, like say Morgan Gibbs-White, for example, they're the type of players who are they need to pass the ball. They're not going to sprint past people. So it's almost like he wants to play defensive football, and at the same time, he doesn't really want to counter attack. To me, he normally goes for it in the second half. Maybe there's 20 minutes to go. Yeah. And he brings on his subs quite late, and then he goes to either get a point or get the win. But he does sit back for, nearly 70 minutes of each game. I'd say, what game was it? I can't remember the game, but we were 2-0 down, and there was only about, 30 minutes left. And only at that point did he try and actually get the goals back, Arsenal. So it's a bit strange to watch, but hopefully, with these new players, he might put someone like Cho in, and it could change the dynamic of the team. We'll just have to wait and see.
Let me ask you this, Crypto: does Cooper prefer to play Big Six teams over teams that not necessarily Big Six teams, but teams that he's expected to lose against ahead of teams that he's expected to win against? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Chat, what do you think on that? Go on, Crypto.
Yeah, I think Cooper prefers to play the Big Six because that's where he can set in his defensive tactics. He can go 5 at the back and play low block, and he'll try and get a point or 3 points by getting that runaway goal. But that is Cooper. That's his tactics pretty much every game. Where he gets criticism is against the smaller teams because the fans don't want to see that. Against the bigger teams, it's kind of accepted because if you go to Man City and you play, I don't know, a 4-3-3, you're probably going to get hammered. Whereas if you sit back and defend, at worst, you may lose 1 or 2-0. But against teams like Burnley, I think that's where it's got to change. And if you are going to play low block, then at least have some people who are on the pitch as wingers who have the speed to get past their defensive lines on the counter attack. I mean, we've said before, we don't mind counter attacking football, but it's almost not even that. It is literally just dig in till the 65th, 70th minute, and then we'll try and get some points. And that for me is not great football to watch.
Yeah.
Some great comments in the chat, by the way. Some great comments in the chat. I think, just the bang on in the chat. I think hopefully what you've realised, Emma and everybody else, is that we don't want to play this. We want to play the football that the players that we've got deserve. I mean, we've got MGW, who's kind of not really been utilised properly in that number 10 role, and that's his role. We've got an exciting striker. We've got fast wingers. We've just got a marquee signing in Sangare. We could play easily a two-man central defence because we've got strength there now. 2 good goalkeepers. Yeah. We're desperate to. If it was our decision, I think the 4 of us, and I think most people in the chat, we just go for it tomorrow. But what we're saying is that Cooper's likely to do this, and he's likely to pick this side. That's what we're trying to say to you. So I'm sorry if it's putting you down. It's actually putting me down as well. So.
We're trying to get in the mind of Cooper tonight and figure it out. Now, going to the poll, I don't think it's surprising, but it's interesting. 57% of you would like to see an attacking style tomorrow against, who are we playing? Burnley. 34% of you would be happy with a mid block, and 8% are okay with the low block. I assume everyone's putting the caveat in there that as long as we win, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I think that's quite an interesting set of results. And I think in general, and the question really is, if we don't go attacking tomorrow, who are we going to go attacking? Will it just be against Luton at home, not even Luton away? I think that's my worry with this.
No, we wouldn't go attacking against. If he doesn't play a more expansive style tomorrow, then we won't do it against Luton either.
We said this against Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, didn't we, Andy?
Yeah,
exactly that.
We said exactly the same thing. This is the second
I've seen
test.
that Simon's put in the chat that going all out attack or something is ridiculous, Dino. No, you can play an attacking or an expansive style of football without going crazy. We're not saying leave have 10 men in the opposition half all the time. We're not quite at that stage yet. But you can play in a more expansive style of football, but still be secure at the back. As I said, we've got some fabulous defenders back there. So you're not going to just leave it open at the back. You still have to be mindful of defence. Of course you do. But you can be a little bit more attacking.
Definitely can. And what you're forgetting, Simon, is that we've got Sangare, if he plays, and we've got all central defenders fit. So we've not it's not like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for the lower end of the defenders, the less talented amongst them in the squad, because they, whether you like people like Worrell or McKenna or not, there is definitely a talent gap. There's a talent gap in the divisions, and there's also talent gaps within the same teams. Yeah. It's natural. It's natural. Messi's teammates know they're never going to be as good as Messi, for example, right? So we've got a better team after the transfer window. So I think we need to up our expectations a little bit. And I, earlier on in the season, said I was happy with 10 points more than last season. Well, after the transfer window, I want more than that. I want to see us definitely in that top half, if not pushing for those outer Europe places. So
it's nice to see now as well, isn't it? All the YouTubers now, none of them mention Forest about strugglers and that. It's totally changed. They've seen our transfer window. They can see the quality we brought in, and nobody's mentioned us now about relegation. Nobody's
mentioned at least 8 teams that look so poor this season. At least 8
exactly
look really bad.
Exactly. You'd be a fool to say, "Oh, Forest might."
But just to come back on you on that, just to balance the argument. The reason they're saying that is because of the results we've had so far this season, and those results have come with low block football. Therefore, would it be silly to change from the style we're currently doing? That's working. You can argue the word working if you want, if we're still getting the results with it.
Yeah, I don't know how sustainable it is to play low block every week against every team, because you're just giving away the ball. Without the ball, you can't do anything. You can't attack, you can't defend properly, you can't do anything without the ball. You need to have the ball at some point. And if you're just playing low block and giving the ball away all the time, you're relying on the odd goal, the breakaway. Maybe we could. 10 minutes to go. Let's chuck an extra attacker on. It's not, in my mind, it's not that sustainable.
When you say working as well, like if low block, like what's it working towards? Like 13th place? There's only so far you can go with low block. Everybody wants to stay up, but we have to, especially with the teams below us, like Dino says, now's a chance to actually progress in the league, as opposed to thinking, let's avoid relegation this season, which low block would probably do. But I think we're better than that. But one thing I do have a bit of hope about tomorrow is that I feel like Cooper's almost got like a clean slate. Because if he does go all out and he plays our new signings, then he does have an excuse to fall back on, because he can say, look, I wanted to play the new signings, etc. So I don't really think he has to be held back tomorrow. I think he can be a bit more ambitious with the selection.
This all has to do with manager mentality, though, Crypto. We've got a cautious manager. Love him or hate him, we've got a cautious manager. If you swapped today Postecoglou with Cooper, what do you think would happen at Forest?
I think Cooper
would change literally overnight.
I thought you were going to say.
Got, so he's been bred on this type of football when he was at Swansea. He's had to play it ultra defensive last season to survive. And I think it's incremental changes. While Cooper's in charge of Forest, we're going to have to expect incremental changes. And he's going to, so I don't think he's going to go anything crazy. And you can almost pretty much forget going to a 4-2-3-1 this season. You might see the odd game in the cup or whatever, as an experiment. But you can pretty much guarantee that he's probably going to play a 3-defender, central defender. And then he's going to alter the mentality of the team by pushing them up a bit more. And I have to say, against Chelsea, they actually did block a little bit higher up for a lot of that game, because I analysed that game on the high press. And when I watched it back, I thought, actually, we weren't really low blocking a lot of it. We were kind of chasing them down in midfield and the forwards. So we let them come to just before the halfway line. Then we were on them. And we won a lot of our possession back like that. So I think that's an incremental change that we need to expect. It's just setting expectations for everybody, really. I think that's what's going to happen.
Go on,
my opinion.
Sorry. Yeah, and the hat says, thanks for ignoring my super chat. I'll be missing.
No, and the hat, I'm coming straight to it. I'm just letting the panel finish their flow. Thank you for it. Literally, I'm on it right now. Whoever's pressed that, because I want to bring this in as the next part of the conversation. So let me acknowledge it, and I'll bring it back up because I do want to talk about the refereeing. Thank you so much for the $4.99, but it is on our topics to discuss, buddy. So I'm not going to ignore your super chats, matey. David as well, thank you for becoming a new member. And just very quickly before we move on to the next topic of debate, I just want to share with you guys a quick reminder here of this beautiful, look at this prize right here, the 1979 Forest squad home shirt signed by all our beloved heroes. There are only 92 tickets left. Already 107 have sold. If you want this very limited edition, look at the players that have signed. And Dino, this must bring back.
I'm going on it right now. I'm going on it right now.
Yeah, I'm going to.
How do I win it?
I've got a shirt with the Vandersons and Tony Woodcocks on, but that's it. So this is the collection.
If you want to grab this, go to football prizes or do !prize in the chat. The link is then that will pop up the link. But these are going like gold dust. I think they'll be sold out by Wednesday. So if you want, look at this.
Got his credit card out.
And man's about to buy 92 tickets of it. Absolute beauty. So make sure you do it. And then just very quickly, for those of you trying to get in for the tickets, if you see here, I think it will work the same for you. You got the live chat options there. And if you go to questions, then just get your names in there. You can see there's about 10 in there at the moment. So if you want the free ticket for tomorrow's match, please go into questions. If you're a member, just say hi in there and we'll get you in the draw, which we'll do in about 10 minutes time for those of you asking as well. And just very quickly, Will, thank you so much for the £5, bud. Please ignore this, Wolverine. I will do. Right, let's move on to Ant the Hat's point here about the refereeing decisions. Now, the ref is the same ref, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, who managed who ref the game against Manchester United. I've literally forgot his name now. And he's the same ref who ref the game when Bournemouth cheated us out of the victory at their ground in our promotion season. And the hat saying, panel elephant in the room is the referee / VAR. Massive calls for whoever. Who makes the call for that? 4 at the back, no excuse. Are any of you worried? And in the chat, I'll ask you guys as well. Is anyone worried about the ref being there tomorrow?
I feel like we need to play to a point where even if that happens, we should be good enough to win the game comfortably, whether that means winning by 2 goals, for example. Stuff like this is always going to happen. I mean, a controversial one earlier was the Martinelli one, which was really strange to me. And I don't know how many people saw that, but they said that the defender didn't mean to push the ball.
Yeah.
Attacker, but I mean, he kicked his leg.
Inadvertently is the word, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to take the ball off him. So, but look, I think that there's always going to be stuff like that in every game. So I think that's why you've got to get to the point where you know that you're going to win. This is why I don't like low block. Again, something we've discussed many times before. Low block. There was a game at the end of last season where we were 1-0 up, I think, in like the 30th minute. And we went into low block, and it's craziness because all it takes is one slip up, and then the game's basically restarted. I don't like that. I think we should have a safety net, unless it's the last 10 minutes or so. And that's another point about the defense. Like, how much can you realistically expect someone to take constant pressure? Like there's times Worrell slipped up last season, but to be fair, he is in a team where he's expected to pretty much for 90 minutes just take hammer after hammer running at him. And it's kind of invited on yourself. But yeah, look, the VAR one is, you could discuss it either way for many hours. I don't know what you guys think about it.
Well, Ant, that was your team. So did you think it was offside? Very quickly, I don't want to get into things, but before I ask you, Ant, let me just shout out 5 gifted memberships from Will. Will, you're an absolute legend. Mark, congratulations. Make sure you show Will. It's good to have you back, Will. Some love. Midas 20, congratulations. Graham, shout out to you as well. Alfie, membership going your way from the legend that is Will, and Mark as well. And apologies to Fizzy. I do apologize. We did see it, and thank you so much. We love each and every one of you. Make sure you get your names in if you can make it to the game tomorrow. If you've just received a gifted from Will, you qualify for the free ticket for the Burnley match. And just very quickly, we're 4 subscribers away from 14,600. So if 4 of you are sitting there that are unsubscribed in the background, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button and getting us over that next milestone, we would really appreciate it. And 2 quick words. Was that an offside for you today with the Arsenal match? I know you're worried about the refereeing tomorrow.
I'm always worried about the referee. You know what? It really frustrates me. Every match I watch, I always think, oh, this is not decided by a dodgy refereeing decision, which is a real shame to have to think like that. As regards the offside today, I think the rules are so, so what's the word I'm looking for? They're neither in or there, aren't they?
Great.
Yeah. It kind of says if a player deliberately plays the ball, well, I think it was it Onana? I think he did deliberately play the ball, because if you're putting your leg in front of a player who's who's trying to do something, then you're deliberately playing the ball, but you're not necessarily deliberately playing it to another player. So that's the issue. So as the rules stand, what they're saying is that yes, he deliberately played the ball, but he didn't deliberately play it to another player. So
but just to come back on that, why would a defender ever deliberately pass it to an attacking player anyway?
No, I think if you tried to pass it to, like, back to the goalkeeper, for example, and there was a player in the way, then that would be deemed as not offside. Whereas they're kind of saying, well, he stuck his leg out, he deliberately played the ball, but he didn't mean to play it that direction. So, yeah. On another day, it'd be given.
Let's not get stuck on it. Let's not get started. I'd rather focus back to Forest. Dino, the point of this reffing thing is obviously the Manchester United game, where I think Cooper hid behind it personally. Yes, there was some questionable decisions. There always is going to be at Old Trafford, but I don't really like managers coming out using it as excuses unless it's like literally blatant cheating. Like when we got screwed out of back in the day. So for me, is this being lined up as a potential excuse? Why should we be thinking about the ref at all?
Well, I don't know why you're taking so long talking about VAR and the ref. I mean, it's so low down on my priority list. It's literally at the bottom of the barrel. At the end of the day, there's been mistakes made by refs since there's been football played. I mean, I'll just bring up this here. There's a famous one that cost England. I've also seen Lampard score with a ball about 2 foot behind the line, and they didn't give that. So VAR has helped referees, but there's still a human element to VAR until we get to the tennis bit where they actually show the physical digital footprint on or off the line. It's always going to be a problem, and it will always balance itself out. And I don't buy this Manchester United thing either, because they've been upset with VAR decisions recently, and I think you might get a bad decision tomorrow, but it'll come back at some point in your favour.
So you don't believe then, Dino, that the top 6 clubs get more of a benefit of the doubt than the lower teams?
No.
So you don't believe that? You don't believe that if that pretend when Rashford dived and brushed against,
I've just said don't believe it. I don't know how many different ways you want me to tell you.
It would not have been given.
I don't know how many different ways you want me to tell you. I don't believe it. I just think that decisions are made. Some people make mistakes in the VAR box. Some refs make mistakes. You've seen the refs' mistakes. They've called for a penalty, and then they go to look at VAR after they've been told to look at the screen, and they say no penalty. So there would have been a penalty in the past before VAR. I actually think VAR is better than having no VAR, but it's still shite. It's still not perfect. And people like in cricket, which is much faster, by the way the ball travels, and tennis, which is much faster, by the way the ball travels. They've got it right. So until we catch up with them, they've been doing it for years before we put VAR in, and that's down to FA and FIFA.
That Mike Dean comment though was sickening, where he said he didn't.
That was extraordinary, wasn't it?
Brown envelopes. Chat, we'll leave it at that. But chat, do you agree or disagree with Dina? Dina, I 100% disagree with you. There is pure bias to the Big Six, and even more so when it comes to Manchester United. Let's leave it at because we've got loads of super chats and memberships to go through. Man Forest, thank you so much for becoming a member. If you can get to the game tomorrow, please check your name in as well. Phil has gifted a membership. You absolute legend, Phil. So, Dr. Would you say Fuge or Fug there? How was that?
Fug.
How's that?
I'd say Fug.
Fug. Make sure you show Phil some love for that membership. Elanga with the 3 months. Absolute legend. The X1 name there. Do appreciate it, bro. And I think we're caught up to speed on all of that. Okay, we're going to do the ticket giveaway in literally 5 minutes time. So if you want your name in, I'll tell you what, I'm going to just put the chat into member only mode for a couple of minutes so the members can chuck their name in. I'll add them to the list. While we're doing that, I'm going to ask the boys for their score prediction. So we'll go into members only chat just for a second, just because you guys are amazing. And honestly, trying to keep up with the comments is crazy here as well. So I'm going to go members only. As soon as I go members only, get your name in if you can make the game, and then we'll do a Wheel of Doom. And I'm going to kick you off with the score predictions.
What are you laughing at?
Yeah, what are you
laughing at? Even your most hardened supporters are saying,
I don't give a fuck, and I don't give a fuck you're laughing your head off either. It's my opinion. VAR, you can't tell me that VAR isn't better than it was before, and there's no proof that it's better for the top six. None. It's bullshit. Everybody's been brainwashed with it. At least Simon's got some brains.
Dino, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Can we at least agree that Man United are not a top 16?
That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
I mean, somebody said it's the first time I've ever disagreed with Dino.
I'm surprised, to be fair.
All right, Dino, I've got to sort out who's getting the ticket. If you're in the chat now, just say hi, put my name in, whatever. I'm going to add them in. Dino, can you control the score predictions here? We're in members only mode right now, so I'm going to start taking names down. Over to you, Dino. I'll be right back. You've got 30 seconds to get your name in on the chat. Go for it, Dino.
Dr. Fug, I am calm. I can rant with the best of them. I can also calm down with the rest of them, right? Calm down. Football friends. Right, score predictions. Now, bear in mind when you come to the score predictions, guys, and you chat as well, just bear in mind that you can't, imagine this amazing attacking formation tomorrow with 2 at the back, the wing backs flying up the wings, and 15,000 people up front. It's got to be kind of what we expect from Cooper. So when you put your score predictions in, please take that into account. So, Ant, with all the depression and gloom we've brought on the chat tonight about how negative we're going to play tomorrow, do you actually think we're going to win?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got better players. No matter what formation we put out there, we've still got better players, and I believe that better players normally come out on top. So I put down a 2-0. I just don't want to. I'd like to keep a clean sheet. It would be really nice to keep a clean sheet. But
don't you think that they're going to come good at some point, Burnley? And don't you think that they'll see Forest as one of those teams that they kind of need to beat?
100%. 100%. This will be one that they'll be aiming for. But I don't think they're going to change the way they play. And the way they've played so far has not been very successful. In fact, it's been quite the opposite. And as I say, you could play a great system, but if you've not got the quality of players to play that great system, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? You can try and play like Manchester City. You can try and play like Arsenal. I'm sure a lot of clubs do. But if you've not got that quality of player, you're not going to get the same results, are you? And I think Burnley have been shown up. A bit like us last year. We came in all cock happy and cock happy. We came It didn't sound right when I said it.
It's all right. It's past 9 o'clock. It's past the
It
watershed.
was either cock a hoop or something happy. But anyway, thinking we could, do what we did in the Championship, and it soon proved to not to be the case. But I think Kompany, I can't see him changing. For some reason, I have no real evidence of that. But for me, he seems like he wants to play football the right way, which I admire. And if he goes to a bigger and better club, he may have more success with that style of play. But the clubs at the moment, I just don't think they've got the quality play. I looked at his side the other day and I thought, well, mainly, who the hell was that?
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing in there, nothing in there that's recognisable to me as a threat. They've even got Aaron Ramsey now, haven't they? I mean,
yes, come on. Yeah.
He
scored, didn't he? He scored. Did he score?
Huh?
No, he didn't. No. That was about 14 years ago. Sorry. And
that to me is a bit like we were a kind of desperate, like with Jesse Lingard. Oh, bit of a faded star, but if we bring him in, he might be able to recapture it. And it very rarely works. So, no, I don't have a worry about them. I mean, famous last words, of course. I think we'll win. I think we'll win 2-0. I'm a bit concerned they might get a goal because our defence does tend to let goals in for no particular reason.
Jinx around. Well, there's some of the chat before I come to you, Crypto. There's some of the chat got some. I mean, 3-2 Chris, 2-1 Mark, 2-0 Jack, 2-0 Martin. There's some. I tell you what, there's some tight ones here about Ben, Ryo, Daniel, and Cujo have all got it sort of with one goal. So it doesn't look as though a lot of the chat put. Oh, there's 1-4-0 there from Per Simon Stenson. But a lot is closer than most people think, other than this one.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, there's some fours coming in at the bottom. Crypto, do you not think we're just steamroller these tomorrow? Because they're all close there, and I don't think they'll get a goal.
So I think we play better football when we go down, because then we have to come back. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to Forest, with Burnley to score first. Because if Cooper does what he does, then he sits back for X amount of time and eventually he'll attack. But if we go down, then it changes the dynamic of the game a bit. And then I think even the players will try to get a goal, even if Cooper doesn't really want them to break away from the plan, as he always calls it. And every interview I watch with Cooper, it always says they either stuck to the plan or they didn't stick to the plan. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to Forest. I don't think we'll steamroll them. I'd love it if we did, but I just don't think they'll be let loose like that. And let's say, for example, we went 3-0 up. I think Cooper would then make everybody into like ultra low block. I don't think we'd absolutely, hammer it home. I just don't think Cooper's got it in him. Eddie thinks so, but I don't.
Can I just jump in very, very quickly, Dino? I'll only be a minute, but I wanted to acknowledge a point that Crypto Rider made earlier on. And it was a really good point, and it kind of got glossed over, that we generally speaking don't play counter-attacking football. We play low block with no intention of playing any attacking football until the last 10 minutes if we're still at 0-0 or 1-1 or something. And I think that was a really good point. None of us mind counter-attacking football if you actually counter-attack. But when it's just a case of sitting there, the ball goes back out to the halfway line to the opposition, and they come on to you again. It gets very, very dull, doesn't it? But I thought that was a really good point. I didn't really acknowledge it. Sorry.
So cast your mind back to last season when we said, everybody said Bournemouth were going down, and then Bournemouth came to our place. We were in the lead and we just blew it the second half. Why can't that happen again with Burnley? Are we just being
because we've got better players?
We've
got better players now.
And do you think Bournemouth had better players than Burnley have now? Do you think the three that come up are the weakest three that have come up for a long time?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. We have mentioned halftime team talks. Something seems to go wrong, I think, at halftime. There's been a few occasions where, we're up, we may be a goal or two up, but then we come out second half, and it just all goes wrong. it's very strange. There was a match this season. I can't remember which one it was. But we were playing really well up until half time, and then we came out second half and just got hammered, which is really strange. So I don't know what he's saying at half time. We have hinted before that, you know, everyone says he's a quote a nice guy. Is he praising players even when they're not playing that brilliant? You know, if Worrell's having a bad match, is he putting his arm around him and saying, "Oh, don't worry, mate, it's fine. You know, there'll be another match where you can play well." I don't know. I don't know how critical he is of people who aren't in form. Morgan Gibbs-White said in an interview a few weeks ago there was one occasion where he like proper had a go at them at half time, and they respected him for it because that's what the players expected. Like, you know, if a player, they're all adult men. If they're playing bad, they should be able to take on board criticism. But if someone's there saying, "Oh, you know, don't worry, blah blah blah," then I don't know.
But then you look at the likes of Bardet, Lingard, who was dropped eventually.
Yeah.
Lewis O'Brien. You know, there are players that he has just Shelby, of course, but you know, nevertheless, it just shows you he's capable of bombing players out. But he does definitely have favourites.
Just before we pass back to Wolverine, I just want to. I don't know whether we brought this one up. Man Forest won. I don't know whether we missed that before. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciated. Elanga winning Golden Boot. Where are you on the FPL now, Elanga? Because you were in front of that the first week. I don't know whether you've slipped like me. Desperate. Congrats on the member for 3 months. And Emma, who's always in the chat. Welcome to the membership. Get your name in if you want to join. But welcome,
Emma. It's too late. Okay.
I think it's more poignant to ask Wolverine where he is in the Predictor League.
No, let's not talk about the Predictor League yet. Right, let's get this done. So I've got everyone in who did it the correct way through the Q&A. I've manually, bloody hell, there's a lot of you, right? I added as many as I could. So if I've missed you, I apologize. We will do this on a regular basis. So are you guys ready to see who gets the ticket tomorrow? What I'll do 3 draws. And what you need to do as soon as the stream's over, send us a WhatsApp message. I'll ask for your email address and I'll email you over the ticket tonight. But I'm going to do 3 names just in case the first person's maybe fallen asleep or whatever. So here we go. Congratulations to, let's get that wheel spinning. Who's it going to be?
We call this the Wheel of Doom. I don't know why. It's just
the Wheel of Fortune, shouldn't it?
It's gone to
Martin. Is it really Martin?
Let's do another spin just in case Martin doesn't get in touch. I know he will though.
Somebody pops Martin off.
Alexa, shut up. All right.
Yeah.
If Martin doesn't claim it, it's going to. It's nearly Stony. No, it's Laser. Congratulations, maybe Laser. Is Martin in the chat still? If he can tell me if he's getting it or not. Laser, if Martin can't go or take it, it's going to be you. So Laser, make sure you're there. And then finally, let's just do one backup.
Did anybody in the chat ever see Bullseye in the day? This is what you would have won.
This is what you would have won. And third in is
Martin.
Harvey NFFC.
Harvey, that's VAR.
Because you were you spammed it. So Martin, then Laser, then Harvey. So who've had the wheel? Absolutely. Congratulations. So Martin, drop me a WhatsApp. I'll send you over the ticket. If not, Laser, if you're still in here, just make sure he's still in there. Martin, so yeah, I'll send you over. But Laser, drop a WhatsApp as well, just in case.
You know what I love? Every time we do the Wheel of Doom, somebody always straight after it stops says fix. It's a fix. Every time.
Cool. All right. So
Martin, join us at the fan zone at 6:45, mate. Good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but congratulations, members. We are trying to add more and more perks into your membership, just to say thank you, really. And this is a massive thank you from us. And again, huge shout out to Sai and to Dave, who organized this for us. We do really appreciate it. It's in the Brian Clough stand in Q Block off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I think it's in lower. I can't remember. It's on the tickets. Okay, very quick, round the houses. Dino, score prediction. I didn't get to hear it while I was fluffing around.
3-0.
3-0. Yeah. Crypto.
2-1 to Forest.
2-1. And
2-0 Forest.
2-0 Forest. I'm saying 3-0. This is a Vinnie Mac guarantee Forest win this because we've got the team to do it. All right, we've way overrun. Thank you all for chilling with us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with the daily video and the watch along, of course, kicking off from I think 7:15. So make sure you're around. And there's the beautiful Mrs. Simon. I hope you're well. Lovely to see you. We'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you so much. And come on, you Reds.
When you're ready.
When you're ready.